We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle. Hi there, my name's Circe Engelhardt, and I want to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. So every week, I start this podcast by welcoming you, thanking you for being here, and letting you know that however you got here, trust that. And what we're doing is we're kind of holding hands, walking through this amazing life that we have the privilege and honor of living, and using the day to day events of our life and our inner world to become the best version of ourselves, to move closer and closer to being who we were created to be. And that's an amazing journey to be on. And that's why I say, welcome. It's so great to have you. I want to remind you that I don't have your answers. You don't need fixing, actually. We're discovering more of who we already are and bringing that to the surface, all those divine qualities that are imbued in each of us so that we can live from those. And that's what has us step into that, what we're calling best version of ourselves. So I don't have your answers, you do, but sometimes we get tidbits of um, messages from other people sharing or experiences that we walk through that help us take the next step, that get us closer and closer to, becoming that person. So that's what we're doing. And I'm grateful that we're doing that together. Okay, so if you've been listening for a while, for a couple of months, I've been sharing this journey I've been on with my sister who got a stage 3 cancer diagnosis and moved from Tennessee to here so I could help care for her. And it's such a rich area for healing. Anytime I think that we get together with members of our family of origin, there's this generational healing that has the opportunity to take place if we're willing. And both my sister and I are. And it's been an amazing journey, which I'm grateful for. And let's see, this last week, she started her second series of chemotherapy, and that starts with about a 3-hour infusion. And then she takes oral chemo for the next 14 days, and then she has 7 days off and starts again. So we just started the second series. And while our hope was that the first series was the worst, and the word on the street is, it didn't turn out that way. The second one, while the infusion part was way better, she didn't have a lot of the reaction that she'd had to the actual IV. We had we had been left to the hospital, and it couldn't have been 10 minutes. And we were in a grocery store getting a prescription that they were giving her for some of the side effects that she was experiencing to be able to ease that. And all of a sudden, she just started losing her ability to speak. She had a really strong lisp. Her feet were flapping kind of like she had swim flippers on. Her hands were losing their control. She had to go to the bathroom. Anyway, there was this series of events that took place as we were waiting in line to pick up her prescription. And all we could do was laugh. We were laughing so hard. It's not like it was funny, but yet it was. It was like we were kind of laughing at the ridiculousness of, how does this happen? How do they give you some medication that technically is kind of, it's poison, and because cancer cells absorb faster, it kills the cancer cells before it kills all the rest of you. Well, and then there's all these quirky side effects, things that you just couldn't imagine. I don't know about you, but my sister and I, neither of us take prescriptions. And I know when my mom was sick and I was caring for her, and she had the TV on, and I was raised without a television, don't watch television. All these commercials came up for all these medications. And when you hear the side effects, you think, who in their right mind would ever take that? Well, here we are in the situation where that is what she's being given, and the side effects are the quirkiest things you could ever imagine. And having them happen to you and you have no control over it, all we could do was laugh. We laughed so hard. And I felt like we were kids again in our family of origin. We were navigating a situation that seemed challenging and difficult. And all we could do was laugh to find the humor in it all. And eventually we got out of the store, and my sister told me later that that evening she came home, pretty much went to bed. And later that evening, she said that was the best medicine I ever could have gotten. And I think that's a great reminder. Like, it's so easy to take life so seriously. It's so easy to listen to whatever version of the news you're listening to, which, quite frankly, I don't think any of them are that valid. I think we're all getting some interpreted view of whatever it is that's going on, but it's tough to listen to it and not eventually just laugh. This is what the heck is going on? And it's good to remember how healing laughter can be. I mean, I know there's laughing yoga. My husband and I led workshops for years, and we did some really fun laughter exercises. Laughter releases serotonin, it endorphins, it heals and rests like every cell in your body. It is so good for you. And yet, as children, we laugh so easily. And as adults, we're like, I don't know. I don't know if that's funny. We even pay to go to comedy shows, and then we judge and assess the comedian. Like, what is going on with us? And so I just want to encourage you this week to bring laughter into your life, whatever that might look like for you. I know as a kid, I got in trouble for laughing. I laughed all the time. And yet I wish I had more access to it. And now I do. And my sister and I will continue to enjoy that, because sometimes when there don't seem to be any answers, when you're in a situation where it doesn't feel like you can do anything else about it, you can pray and you can laugh. And sometimes I think that laughter is really good for us. And so, yeah, this week, look at some of the situations that you're in that may feel challenging or difficult or defeating, and consider that laughter is the best medicine, and sometimes it's called for. So, whatever it is that you're facing, whatever it is that you're walking through, well, definitely pray about it. Also, make sure that you allow yourself a good old fashioned belly laugh. Okay? I'll be here next week. I can't wait to see you then. Have a beautiful week and laugh out loud. Okay? See you then.